Hey, good afternoon, Michaela. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So glad to see you again today. And so I kind of want to just pick up right where we left off last time. But before that, I noticed in your response you say you feel okay. Is there anything in particular that's an issue right now?
Um, there's just a lot. I mean, like we talked about last time, there's just a lot, going on in my life with me just having my baby, and I'm okay. I'm getting by. It's just okay. So,
Okay, okay. I hear you. I hear you. So you say I heard you say a lot's going on. So, obviously a new mother. I got kids, so I kind of understand that. But what else is there besides the kids? Is there other responsibilities that's causing some issues for you?
yeah, I mean, I did used to work before, but now Um, I mean, I love getting to spend the time with all of my kiddos and my
Mhm.
newborn, but I just feel like there's no purpose for me, and
Okay.
at least like accomplishment wise, and when I try to accomplish anything at the home, like cooking or cleaning, I feel like I'm not doing enough for my baby, so it's just a lot too. It's just a lot.
Okay, I got you. Okay. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. I want to come back to that, but I'm gonna kind of pick up where we left off last time. And so, you were saying that you were experiencing some guilt the last time that we talked about not really being able to bond or feeling a close connection with the baby. Can you tell me more about like how you feel, or maybe even give me a instance where you felt those feelings like intensely?
I see my husband and how he just loves on our baby so much and has such a good relationship with him. And I feel like I just haven't been able to experience that kind of bond with them yet. And that's just really tough for me. I didn't ever truly experience like that specific feeling with my other kiddos. And so I feel like there's something wrong in my head or there's something I'm doing wrong. Um,
Sure.
but that's, yeah.
No, no, I hear you. So I want to say a couple of things. Number one, um, there's nothing wrong with you. And I don't think I mentioned this before, but my wife, we have four babies, and she has struggled with postpartum depression in the past with pregnancies. And so it is something that's normal. But Michaela, the fact that you're here, the fact that we've had these sessions and I have seen some improvement, I feel really confident that you have everything that you need, every tool that you need to get to where you want to go. It's going to take some time, but just stick with it. And I just want you to just be encouraged that this isn't for nothing, and you're going to get to the goals that you want to get to. And again, I think all that the solutions that you're looking for are really inside of you. So I'll say that first. But additionally, what does can you tell me, you said your husband is seems to be doing such a great job of bonding. What does that look like, right? What is he doing that you feel like you're not unable to do?
I just feel like for him it's really natural. Like if our baby starts crying, I feel like I'm just at a point where I'm so overwhelmed that maybe um like that's why I can't handle it when I am holding them. Like they just continue crying, but as soon as he picks them up, like everything's fine, which I appreciate and I think that's wonderful. Um it just feels like it comes super easy for him and like I don't necessarily think he's doing anything specific or doing anything like to purposely have a better connection
Sure.
with our child, but um I don't know. That's just how I've seen it, I guess.
Okay. Okay. I hear you. So you mentioned that for your husband it seems very natural, right? You perceive it as being very natural for him. But have you had any conversations with him about if it does come natural to him?
I haven't. I don't want to put anything on him. Um I don't know. I don't want to put any extra stressors on him or make it seem like I'm blaming him for anything, because it is a really wonderful thing that he does have that bond. Um, so I just kind of keep it to myself. I know that's not fantastic, but
Yeah, no, and I definitely can understand that, right? What I'm hearing is you're saying that you don't want to burden your husband, kind of even any more than he's burdened. He has work and he has the kids and all that. So I can hear you, um, when you say that. But when you're in those moments and you see him having a tender moment with a baby, what are you feeling, right? What's going through your head? What's your thought process during those moments?
it's kind of a range of emotions to be completely honest, because when I first see it, I'm first very happy, like obviously seeing your husband with your child and they're laughing or they're asleep together or whatever it might be, it makes you happy. But then me being the mom and not having that with them, then my emotions kind of switch to, I mean, obviously sadness, but um, ultimately just end up being kind of numb because I think I've just trained myself to just be numb because if I'm not numb, then I'm sitting there really sad. So,
Okay, got you. So the numbing, you said you've trained yourself to be numb so that you don't feel the sadness. Okay, got you. Okay. Well, again, I just want to reiterate again, your feelings are 100% legitimate, Michaela, right? So, um, you don't need to feel as though you're not able to have those feelings. If you don't feel that you're comfortable talking to your husband, that's understandable. But hopefully, this venue is a place that you can express yourself freely and just realize like there's zero judgment here, right? My whole goal is for you to get from where you are today to where you want to be. And I guess that's maybe a good segue to ask a question about, your goals, right? So we've started to process and unpack some of your feelings and your emotions, but I'd like to kind of, in your own words, hear you tell me what does better look like for you?
um, I just, I want to get through each day
Hmm.
without, like, I don't want to have, I just, every day I am sad and in some capacity, even if it's not the whole day. And so obviously, like, sadness is going to come and go throughout your life depending on what's going on. But I just want to wake up and have the confidence that I am a good mother and that I am going to eventually form that bond. And it's okay that it's not that it's, I guess, taking as long as it is. But currently, I don't have that at all. So,
Okay. Okay. No, I appreciate that. I hear what you're saying. So the key thing I picked up on, you said sadness, right? That's you want the sadness to be gone. And it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, that the sadness is kind of coming from the lack of that bond with the baby. Is that right?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna try a technique. We call it the miracle technique, right? Or the crystal ball technique. And so essentially, I want you to kind of think about the scenario and then take however much time you need and then kind of respond. So imagine that you went to sleep tonight and a miracle happened and you woke up and all your problems were gone. You weren't sad anymore. You didn't feel the depression. Um, how would you know that things had changed again from going to sleep to waking up? If that happened, what would your life look like? What would interactions look like? Just take me through a little bit of that.
Um, I feel like it would just be easy, um, I guess easier to get up in the mornings, shower, get ready, get the baby ready. It would, my bond with the baby would be easy. I would have the motivation to um, clean the kitchen, cook dinner, and give myself credit for completing those things that day. I feel like all of those tasks are really hard right now.
Okay, okay, I hear you. So motivation was the key word that I picked up on. And then you didn't say this, but this is just my me. Correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like the tasks that you are responsible for today, you don't seem to be getting a whole lot of joy out of them, and maybe you wish that you were getting joy from. Does that sound
Yeah.
accurate? Okay. So motivation and joy are the two things that I picked up on. So so I'm wondering what does what drives that motivation and that joy for you, right? That's that. So yeah, talk to me about that.
Um, I feel like I don't know. There's days when it's my family, and there's days when I just wake up and I am happy and I do have more motivation to do things. I feel like my biggest drive and um thing to keep going is definitely my family.
Okay.
Um, but it can just be tough.
Okay. No, I agree. It definitely can be tough, right? Raising kids, trying to balance a family is difficult. And as roles change, um, then it can be difficult to kind of transition in and out of those roles. So I definitely hear what you're saying. So I want to dive deeper into that motivation and that joy piece. I heard you talk about your family, which is awesome. But uh, based on some of the things you said earlier, it almost feels like the family can be maybe both a source of joy, but also maybe a source of challenge is maybe the word that I'll say. And again, if I'm mischaracterizing it, please let me know. But it sounds. Would you agree that your family can be both a source of joy and a challenge for you, or would you use other language?
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Okay, okay. So I think that's good to. I'm glad that I'm kind of tracking with you. So if you're saying your family can be a source of joy and a challenge, um, then how do you feel? You also talked about having guilt around how you feel about your family. Sometimes maybe you're motivated and sometimes not motivated to do things for them and with them. So if your family is a source of joy and a source of challenge for you, and you're feeling some guilt, um, then I guess my question is, um, how do you what do you think is one thing that you could do to um, alleviate some of your guilt?
Um, I'm honestly not super sure. I feel like that's a tough question for me. Um, just because when I am feeling that guilt, I kind of just push it down, like I said, and kind of ignore it so
Okay.
that I'm not feeling that emotion. Um, but I'm
So
not I'm not super sure.
yeah, no, that's fair. So you mentioned this is the maybe second or third time you talked about pushing emotions down, right? So that you don't have to feel. Um,
Hmm.
so so far, based on you taking that course of action, pushing feelings down, how is it making you feel? How effective do you think it's been thus far?
Um, Not necessarily effective, at least in the long run. I feel like by the end of the week of doing that over and over again, it's really heavy on me, and I do have to take a second to myself to just kind of break down and cry and um
Sure.
but I just feel like it's better because I'm not putting it on anyone else. That guilt, that feeling.
Okay. No, I hear what you're saying. Okay. So we're coming up on time here, but before I let you go, I want to give you a homework assignment. And so
Okay.
I want you to do some journaling. I want you to take 5 minutes every day, and I want you to write down specifically emotions when things feel really intense and really hard, when you're able to calm down and compose yourself, I want you to take 5 minutes and just write how you feel. And I don't want you to hold anything back, right? And I want, if you're comfortable, I want you to share that during the next session. And
Okay.
what I'm trying to get at is I want you to just be able to freely express how you feel, who you feel you are, how you feel you are, without holding anything back. I think that we're gonna learn a lot from that. And so that's kind of that's my little homework assignment for you until I see you next time.
Okay. Perfect.
See you next time. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Okay.